History, as we know it, is often a tale told by the victors.
The colonization of Africa brought with it not just exploitation, but also a systematic erasure and rewriting of history. The narrative painted Africa as a dark continent, a land of savages in need of European enlightenment.
This narrative, deeply ingrained in our textbooks and media, is not just inaccurate but dangerously misleading. It robs Africans of their rich history and perpetuates harmful stereotypes. The truth is, Africa had complex societies, sophisticated governance structures, and thriving trade routes long before European ships landed on its shores. From the ancient Egyptian civilization, which flourished for millennia, to the Great Zimbabwe, a testament to architectural prowess, Africa was never a blank slate. The continent was a tapestry woven with diverse cultures, languages, and innovations. To accept the narrative of a primitive Africa is to ignore the archaeological evidence, the oral histories, and the lived experiences of millions. It is to deny the intellectual and cultural contributions of a continent that has shaped the world in countless ways. Welcome back to Unveiling Africa's True Legacy. Today we're diving into Africa's Golden Age.
The narrative of European colonization often begins with their arrival, completely overlooking the centuries of African achievement that preceded it. This deliberate omission serves to justify colonial conquest by portraying Africa as stagnant and undeveloped.
However, the historical record tells a vastly different story. Take, for instance, the ancient kingdom of Kush, which rivaled Egypt in its power and grandeur, or the Mali Empire, home to Timbuktu, a center of learning that attracted scholars from across the globe. These empires were not mere footnotes in history. They were centers of trade, scholarship, and cultural exchange. Beyond grand empires, numerous African societies flourished with advanced systems of agriculture, medicine, and governance. The Ife and Benin kingdoms were renowned for their bronze casting, producing works of art that still captivate the world today. The sophisticated urban planning of Great Zimbabwe, with its intricate stone structures and irrigation systems, challenges the notion of an undeveloped continent. These examples, and there are many more, paint a picture of a continent brimming with innovation, cultural richness, and intellectual prowess. To understand Africa's true history, we must look beyond the colonial lens and acknowledge the continent's vibrant past. That's right, stay tuned as we continue to explore more fascinating chapters of Africa's legacy. Welcome back to Unveiling Africa's True Legacy. Today, we're diving into the colonial agenda.
The narrative of the white savior is a dangerous myth, deeply intertwined with the colonial project. It paints a picture of Europeans as benevolent guides, selflessly bringing civilization and progress to a backwards continent.
This narrative, however, is a self-serving fabrication that masks the true motives of colonialism, greed, and exploitation. European powers did not arrive in Africa with the altruistic goal of uplifting its people. They came seeking resources: gold, diamonds, rubber, and ultimately, human beings. The civilizing mission was a mere smokescreen to justify the brutal subjugation of an entire continent. This myth of the white savior continues to cast a long shadow over our world today. It manifests in narratives that portray Africa as perpetually dependent on Western aid, ignoring the systemic inequalities that make such dependence necessary. Stay tuned as we continue to unmask these myths and reveal the true legacy of Africa.
Welcome to Section 4, The Scramble for Africa, exposing the greed and exploitation.
The Berlin Conference of 1884 stands as a chilling testament to the rapacious nature of European colonialism. In a Berlin boardroom, far removed from the continent they were carving up, European powers arbitrarily drew lines on a map, dividing Africa amongst themselves with no regard for existing ethnicities, cultures, or historical boundaries. This scramble for Africa was driven by an insatiable hunger for resources and power. The consequences were devastating. Millions of Africans were enslaved, brutalized, and dispossessed of their land and resources. Traditional systems of governance were dismantled and replaced with colonial administrations that prioritized the extraction of wealth over the well-being of the people. The horrors of colonial rule are well documented, from the forced labor camps of King Leopold II in the Congo to the brutal suppression of anti-colonial movements across the continent. The myth of a benevolent colonial project crumbles in the face of such overwhelming evidence of cruelty and exploitation. It's crucial to understand that the legacy of colonialism is not just a historical footnote. Its impacts are still felt today in the socio-economic and political structures of many African nations. By examining these events, we can better understand the roots of contemporary issues and work towards a more just and equitable future. Welcome to Section 5, Africa's Enduring Legacy, a global tapestry woven with African threads. The impact of Africa's legacy extends far beyond its shores, woven into the very fabric of our globalized world. From the spiritual traditions that have found resonance across continents to the mathematical concepts that laid the foundation for modern computing, Africa's contributions are undeniable. Consider the profound influence of African music on global genres like jazz, blues, and samba, or the intricate textile designs and craftsmanship that continue to inspire fashion designers today. These are not mere cultural exchanges, they are testaments to Africa's enduring influence on the world stage. In the realm of science and mathematics, the contributions of ancient African civilizations are slowly being recognized. The Egyptians, for instance, developed sophisticated systems of astronomy and mathematics, evidenced by their monumental architecture and precise calendars. The Yoruba people of West Africa developed a complex system of numerology that still astounds mathematicians today.
Welcome to Section 6, where we delve into the enduring grip of colonial narratives. Despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary, the myth of European civilization of Africa persists. This enduring falsehood is perpetuated by a number of factors, from Eurocentric education systems to the continued dominance of Western media narratives. Textbooks often gloss over the atrocities of colonialism, portraying it as a period of benevolent development rather than brutal exploitation. Museums filled with artifacts looted during the colonial era often present a sanitized version of history, ignoring the violent context in which these objects were acquired. The media, too, plays a powerful role in shaping perceptions. Images of poverty and conflict dominate coverage of Africa, reinforcing stereotypes and obscuring the continent's rich diversity and achievements. This one-dimensional portrayal serves to justify neo-colonial interventions in the name of development or humanitarian aid, perpetuating the very power dynamics that colonialism established.
And now, let's hear from our guest podcaster, who will provide further insights into how these narratives are constructed and maintained. Colonial narratives are deeply embedded in our education systems and media. They shape our understanding of history and influence contemporary policies. By critically examining these narratives, we can begin to dismantle the myths and recognize the true legacy of Africa. And that's a wrap for this section. Stay tuned as we continue to uncover the truths behind Africa's rich legacy.
Section 7, Reclaiming Our Story, a Call for Truth, Justice, and African Renaissance. The time has come to dismantle the colonial narratives that have for too long shaped our understanding of Africa. This requires a concerted effort to reclaim our history, to tell our own stories, and to celebrate the richness and resilience of African cultures. It starts with education. By incorporating accurate and comprehensive accounts of African history into school curricula, we can empower future generations with a more complete understanding of the past. We must move beyond Eurocentric narratives and embrace a more inclusive and accurate version of history. Furthermore, we must support African scholars, writers, and artists who are challenging colonial narratives and offering fresh perspectives on the continent's past, present, and future. By amplifying these voices, we can help shift the global narrative about Africa. Reclaiming our history is not just about righting past wrongs. It is about shaping a future where African voices are heard, where African perspectives are valued, and where African contributions to the world are acknowledged and celebrated. It is about fostering a global community that embraces diversity, equity, and the richness of shared human experience. Welcome to our podcast, where we explore the profound impact of African culture on the world today. That's right. In this episode, we'll dive into how Africa's vibrant and dynamic spirit continues to shape the contemporary world in profound ways. From technology to fashion and music to art, Africa's influence is everywhere. Let's start with technology. African innovators are making waves, especially in places like Silicon Savannah in Kenya. Tech startups there are driving innovation with solutions tailored to both local and global challenges. And we can't forget about figures like Rebecca Enunchong, a Cameroonian tech entrepreneur breaking barriers in the industry. Moving on to fashion, Africa's creative genius is undeniable. Designers like Nigeria's Lisa Fulawio and South Africa's Laduma Ngsokolo are redefining global fashion standards with their unique and culturally rich designs. Their influence is visible on runways from Paris to New York, celebrating the continent's rich textile heritage and contemporary flair. And let's not forget music. The infectious rhythms of Afrobeats, popularized by artists such as Burna Boy and Wizkid, are chart toppers around the globe. The genre's fusion of traditional African sounds with modern beats has created a musical revolution, resonating with people from all walks of life. Art, literature, and cinema also showcase Africa's profound impact. Authors like Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie and filmmakers like Wanuri Kahiu challenge stereotypes and offer authentic narratives that resonate globally. These modern contributions are a testament to the enduring strength and creativity of African cultures. They underscore the importance of recognizing and celebrating Africa's ongoing role in shaping our global society. By acknowledging these contemporary achievements, we can appreciate the depth and breadth of Africa's influence and support a future where African voices continue to inspire and innovate. Africa's story is far from over. It is a living, breathing testament to resilience, creativity, and the power of cultural exchange. As we look to the future, let us honor and amplify the voices that are driving change and enriching our global tapestry. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Stay tuned for more insights into Africa's incredible legacy.